influence you take away from me. And I sat for hours by the windowsill, had hopes my cup would never spill. You'd hold it there for me. But if I asked you, what would you do for me? Even when I wail, you make me sad. Got one soul to sell, so get in quick. 'Cause even when I wail, you make me sad. Got one soul to sell, so get in quick. I know that you'll still claim your innocence, like calling in on self-defense, like better you than me. And I sat for hours by the windowsill, had hopes my cup would never spill. You'd hold it there for me. But if I asked you, what would you do for me? Sinking fast now, there's no hand to help me.
Great drop for Joel.
Drives in, backdoors this section, he's got to stay in there. Needs a second section, he gets it, comes out.
Oh,
That's it, mate.
That's it.
There it is, your winner of the Quicksilver Pro for 2013. Kelly Slater has done it.
he doesn't look like slowing down. Your 2013 champion, Kelly Slater.
Time is when you run it. Your cash is out of style. Let's check out the highlights of this insane event. The Billabong Rio Pro just finishing a few minutes ago. Highlight reel will start with the quarterfinals from the final day. Kelly Slater was on deck to surf against Adriano de Souza. We couldn't wait to get this thing started.
Adriano de Souza brought his A game on the final day, opened up with a fantastic ride and really showing some variation. That end section turn, beautiful.
Then Kelly started working after a little left-hander, 417, because he couldn't really come around the corner with that section coming down on him. Kept waiting for Kelly to turn into that magical performance he's had all week, but it never really happened.
A little wave-starved in the heat, Kelly Slater and Adriano de Souza swooped on the opportunity to get a win over the 11-time world champion.
Clean connections there through the flats for Adriano de Souza, and then this was the opportunity for Kelly to come back. Got a 7.5 for making that tube ride, got a carve on this inside corner, but still wasn't enough to take the win.
No, it wasn't, and Adriano de Souza powered on through. Had the hometown support too, and had a big old cheer as they celebrated his win and moved through to the semis.
Interesting matchup in quarter number 2 with a little priority confusion. Ace Buchan stuck to his bank down the beach and got a couple of great tubes. 8-point ride for this one.
Big start for Ace Buchan, but Medina, he just fought back so well, didn't he? Got himself a 10-point ride, took to the sky, big air there, and the judges dropped the big score really quickly.
Well, you know the barrel was good, but then look at the air on the loft. So much height, covering so much ground. It was an easy, perfect 10, and then Ace, but kept battling back and got a 6-point ride here.
Yeah, nice little pit here from Ace. Didn't get the end section turn and was still chasing a big score coming into the final stages, but then this happened.
This was the priority moment. Ace thought he had priority, hit it off the top. Gabriel thought he had priority, so took it off him there. The confusion went to the beach, and they had a big meeting with contest officials. There was a moment where we thought we'd have a resurf, but it still ended up going Medina's way.
It did, and unfortunately for Ace there, but still his best ever finish in Brazil, making the quarterfinals. But Medina just powered on through, too strong.
A lot of speed, and he got another reverse before this one came to a close, and that set up a dream matchup with Gabriel Medina taking on Adriano de Souza in that first semi-final of the day. The next quarter, though, was solid. Mick Fanning hit the lineup.
Look, Mick Fanning turned up today, and I thought, wow, he could go all the way. Looked really sharp in his clash with Sebastian Zietz here.
And then he got a 6-point ride on his forehand, clean exit of the tube, big wrapping carve in the pocket. A lot of the heats that Mick had, the surf went a little bit inconsistent and small, and he kept adapting to take smaller waves to get the scores he needed.
Sebastian Zietz got himself back in the heat with this ride. Loved the end section hit. He was super explosive and on all his finishing turns throughout the contest, but Mick, too strong, his best wave.
And right here, the 5.97, he floats it off the roof. Then watch how dynamic he is through some troubling parts of the wave. It slowed up a bit, then he just jams it off the top, looking pretty fierce, and even throws up a little different turn for a finish. Changed ups every time, gave Mick the win into the semifinals.
Philippe Toledo and Geordie Smith in quarterfinal number 4. If Geordie was going to trip up anywhere, I thought it might have been in this heat, but Philippe just couldn't find the rhythm that he had in the earlier rounds. Geordie Smith, he found himself some deep barrels.
Oh, he was so deep on that one. 8.93, traveled such a long distance. That was a crucial wave there. His backup wasn't bad either. 6.37 for this one.
Great little pit, and just one guy that did a really good job of exiting out of these punchy little barrels throughout the whole event. Not easy to do.
And then Felipe tried to answer back. It wasn't the kind of alley-oop that we'd seen in the previous round, so the judges kept him honest and gave him a 6.67, and he tried again here, got a little more out of this wave.
Yeah, this alley-oop was a lot stronger, but just wasn't able to get a really big finish here that he wanted. Incomplete, that last move.
And then Geordie back out it. You see the wind picking up on this one. He used it to his advantage. Did that classic air reverse with the frontside grab and was able to take the win and eliminate one of the local favorites in Felipe Toledo, which set up a big matchup in semifinal number 2. Semifinals time, things kicked off in a big way with 2 Brazilians entering the lineup.
Yeah, loved this matchup. On paper, incredible, and didn't it live up to all expectation. Gabriel Medina getting started early with a great backside air reverse.
Then Adriano started hunting back. He got his moment for the slob reverse. 7.17 for that one maneuver section, and started the battle continued. Then Gabriel Medina went for the sky.
Oh, this thing was pretty crazy. We saw a lot of backside air reverses from Gabriel in this heat though, and D'Souza just kept mixing things up.
Little jams here, 7.13 for this two-turn combo. Actually kept him out of first. He still needed another wave as Adriano was still fighting back to try to get into the lead. And this was the big moment for Medina.
This is the air. This was the best one that he did probably throughout the entire event, getting super inverted. Really bizarre landing, kind of coming down tail first, but just able to maintain control and rode on out.
And this was the wave that did it for D'Souza. He was able to spin and whip that board around on that punt. He kind of shocked himself, I think, on the landing or how quickly that tail went around. And 887 gave him the lead, but Medina had one more chance to try to fight back here.
He did, and he went to his backside air reverse. It's a strong move for him, but on this occasion, not quite enough height, and he just fell a little short.
The judge has seen a lot of these, and right there, just one backside reverse maneuver, nice and clean, but Adriano D'Souza got Medina again and moved on to be our first finalist here at the Billabong Rio Pro. Second semifinal was one to watch.
Mick Fanning, he went to get the quick start on his rival in this one, Jordy Smith, but just took a couple of falls in the early stages and just couldn't really recover.
Kept trying to hack his way into little air sections, but he kept going down. And right here, he got a 4.83 for this little backsider again, but still wasn't finding that same kind of mojo he had in the previous rounds.
Jordy Smith was a little bit more selective, put himself on the best waves and got the best turns done. And as a result, collected a couple of decent scores in the 7-point range to get the win.
Even this one right here, this was just a 4-ranger, 4.27 for this one as he popped this one off the top, but he had so much control on the rights, using this air wind to his advantage. Nice little nose pick reverse into the flats. He was able to eliminate two-time world champ Mick Fanning and get a spot into the final.
And what a final it was. Great matchup. Two of the form surfers of the 2013 season battling it out for a win in front of a huge crowd.
Well, we had Jordy start off selective, and just like Adriano, he started running around the lineup, started building some momentum, a 4.67 for that ride, but he started heating up a bit.
He sure did. Adriano D'Souza, so solid on the backhand. Have a look at this ride. Just a drifting backhand snap into a float. Lightning fast and a solid finish.
And coming all the way through this inside corner, loves the reform, 617 for this wave. Meanwhile, Jordy hadn't taken a wave yet. Now his turn to get a strike on the board.
He went looking for serious waves and big ramps. Found one here and planted a nice little air reverse on the end section.
733, little bow, changing up the claims, and then D'Souza quickly answers back. Nice pop off the top, stomps the landing, and went for one more on the inside corner.
Underrated above the lip, Adriano D'Souza, especially with those frontside air reverses. He planted a couple of really solid ones throughout the event and even nailed a few in the final.
And then things opened up. The stalefish attempt from Jordy Smith went well. Spins it around, gets to the inside, jams it off the top, and then stomps the float for a nice and clean 8.50.
Love that ride, yeah, just great variation and really stylish. Jordy Smith took the lead with that one.
787 here for D'Souza as he started running into the wind. Big closeout, finishing hack with a lot of power. Made it look pretty impressive.
And Jordy took off right behind him and launched this, the highest scoring ride of the final, 9.3, and a different kind of air to the ones we'd witnessed throughout the contest, Joe.
He's a bit of a showman out in this final. Then he got to let all the claims come out, punching out Adriano D'Souza in a final that maybe he wasn't supposed to win, not on his home court. He broke the curse, and Jordy Smith is back in the world title race.
Starts to stall. He wants this inside section and he finds it deep in the barrel now. This section coming over. He's still going, and John Florence gets himself an incredibly long barrel. Here's Jordy though, getting barrel, finding his way out. Let's see if he gets a big turn start on this inside section. Boom, huge snap. go. Mick Fanning drives off the bottom into the lip. There's a huge, smooth, beautiful turn. Mick Fanning in the barrel. He finds his way out. One of the bigger waves we've seen in this heat. On the open face now. Nice big slice. 30 seconds remaining. Mick Fanning looking for a 6.34. Rail. He pulls in, comes out of the tube. He's going to need more on this ride. He's going to chase down that requirement, setting up this inside section. Fanning barreled again, still going, gunning through this pit. Doesn't make any mistakes this time. There goes Paco looking for a solid backup. Tucked in the barrel. He's deep in the tube and he'll find his way out.
7 p.m. at the fountain cleaning. You had the snow in your face.
DJ, last thing to pick. Here we go, pick dog. Big open, pick please. And just flying out. Look at this section. Gouges it. Uh-oh. Kerr in, highlight. Right in the cut. Go from there, where is he?
Somewhere to lay in shame. Don't know what love is fleeting. Crazy to think I'm sane. No lies, just deceiving. Live and die and stay awake. It's true, we were better off believing. We were brave enough to break. Dreams in the day, tore up the night. Thought it meant something. Dreams in the day, tore up the night. Pretty sure it meant something. I'm nothing, nothing at all. Take me away, nothing, nothing at all. You make me stay, nothing, nothing at all. tear it down, maybe we can start again. Now nothing, nothing at all can take me away. Nothing, nothing at all can make me stay. Nothing, nothing at all can take me away. Nothing, nothing at all can make me stay. Nothing, nothing at all can take me away. Nothing, nothing at all can make me stay. Nothing, nothing at all can take me away. Nothing.
Hello everybody, this is Mickey Piquant. So we are back here in Seniors Le Penon for the last day of the Quicksilver Pro France. We had some hard moments, but we finally did the best call. We are here in Seniors and we're gonna crown the champion today. It's 6 foot, so we'll have some really good action. Good luck to everybody.
A burning flame goes by and by. There's a
The quarters were super exciting. It's pretty pumping up here, just a real powerful shore break. Kai kind of took to the air on a few and Joel was just doing his real powerful clean.
into the cycle of the here and now. We take our fears and disappear somehow as we ascend. Beginnings never ends. Twin flames in our
He got big snap from Kelly. Draws off the bottom again, bangs it up through the lip. That's better from Kelly Slater. One more turn, snaps it off and then throws the tail out.
in our hearts. As we move, you can't tell us apart. Twin flames in our minds when we move together. A sea of flames before tonight. Conducted love brought us alive. The fire blends. Beginnings never end. Into the cycle of the here and now. We take our fears.
It was a really high pressure heat, I think, for both of them, and you know, mates going at it, but at the moment it just looks like Mick's got that hunger. He's got a build up. It's almost like a residual hunger coming up, and it's paying off for him. You can see it. Joel just couldn't he couldn't match it.
Twin flames in our hearts as we move towards our very start. Twin flames in our minds when we move, emotions multiply. Twin flames in our hearts as we move, you can't tell us apart. Twin flames.
Well, for Gabriel Medina and Felipe Toledo, it's a Brazilian matchup. Like, there's some rivalry back there, you know. They're pitching each other against each other with that big air maneuvers. Ultimately, Gabriel Medina's going to have the edge because of the experience he's had in competition here. I think he's through to the final.
Gabriel Medina. Oh, he did it. He did it. That was full rotation. Not in reverse. That was full rotation.
Well, we're going to Mick Fanning and Gabe Medina final, and the wind's picking up from the northwest. It's getting chunky on the shore break. Let's see what they can do.
Twin flames in our hearts as we move towards our very start. Twin flames in our
My whole thing was just to you know, just try and put a couple of scores on the board and just try and, you know, stop his rhythm of just catching left after left, where he could just keep perfecting his airs, and, you know, it sort of worked a little bit. It felt good to take him down the final, but yeah, I'm sure it might be the last.
Well, we wake up to the morning of the finals of the Billabong Pipe Masters, and it was a huge moment because we knew the swell was coming. And the best part about it was the first heat of the morning featured world number 1 Mick Fanning and CJ Hobgood. It was a huge matchup. CJ's been amazing at pipeline his career, and also Mick Fanning, who can close out the world title for himself if he reaches the semifinals. He starts taking off on a bunch of waves. Momentum shift looks like it wasn't going Mick Fanning's way at all. And then finally, time's running out. Out of nowhere, a bomb comes.
Taking his time on the bottom turn bow. Look at this stretching out in front of him. Slots in. Can he come out? Yes!
Well, I was lucky enough that it came through right at the right time. And I just held on, and I was so stuck on this spit out.
Julian Wilson up and riding on a first reef drainer down the line, double up, pulling in, and he gets spit out. Sebastian Zicha, 2012 Triple Crown champ, stalling, getting barreled, high line, now low line, into another barrel, still traveling. Can he come out?
I was super stoked to see it clean up, and we just got super perfect ones, and it is getting really good out there.
Well, here we go in blue, Miguel Pupol. Big drop for the goofy footer. The Brazilian locks in. He's shacked. Can he come out? Yeah!
So we come into the first quarterfinal, and this is the moment we've been waiting for. Mick Fanning takes off against Yaden Nickel. Yaden's got to win the contest to be back in the top 34. Then you go to Mick Fanning, where he can decide his fate and his future. He wins his world title. Things start off just like they did with CJ. Everything's going Yaden's favor. Yaden gets 2 scores quickly. We're starting to think, wait, has Mick lost his mojo? He had a heroic effort against CJ. We weren't thinking it was going to happen again, but it did. One more wave, sent from who knows where, came to Mick Fanning, and he had a similar read on it. Drops in, has to fade, and the thing just squares up and runs perfectly down the beach. Mick gets the score in the world title. Best barrel he's ever gotten in his career, for sure.
Parks it, now races up, he's got to out, he's out! He is out! Whoa!
In 9.7, your world champion, Mick Fanning for 2013.
Pretty overwhelming right now. All the emotion and everything that's gone into it. It's just the goal that I went for, and I'm just happy that I achieved it.
I'm a little frustrated, you know, last second heroics by Mick about 20 times this year. And that's what you got to do to win a world title.
Late takeoff, here he goes. Kelly Slater standing tall, backhand barrel.
This is one of those classic days that's shaping up, and, you know, it could have come down to, you know, if I do make the final, there would be that anticipation for everyone here, you know, potentially a once-in-a-lifetime chance. So I was really excited and I was ready, but that's the way it went. If I win this thing, I'm putting that in my house and I'm going to steal that freaking title off Mick and run.
John Florence in a backdoor cavern, pedal to the metal. Can he come out? Yes! Up and riding, your defending Pipe Master champion in backdoor, going down the line, he comes out.
But in semifinal number 1, we had Mick Fanning surfing against John Florence. It turned into John's stage, his backyard, where he got a 9-2 and a 9-3 back-to-back. And then you started seeing the dream run for John continue as he made the final for the first time.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Vans Triple Crown of Surfing champion, Mr. John Florence.
So then we go into semifinal number 2. It's Joel Parkinson versus Kelly Slater. And those two have had a pretty heavy rivalry over the last couple of years.
Kelly Slater on the paddle, pulling in, pipeline, big chandelier, big foam ball, and just gets, yeah!
That was a little grudge match for me, to be honest. Parko winning the title when I had a chance, and would have really bit me bad if he got me there, made it to the final, and then won again. You know, I just kept getting good waves. I got a couple of smokers in that heat, and I had a 9-5 at the end of that heat I threw away, and Parko was paddling back out, and I came back out, and he's just smiling, going, "Oh my God, how was that wave? It was so sick," you know? So, you know, he was just having fun.
Well, we start looking at the favorites coming into Pipeline. and you can't get past saying John Florence and Kelly Slater, most popular surfers on the planet, two guys that surf pipeline better than anybody. Kelly last year was saying he hopes he gets a final with John at some point in his career before he retires, and that dream came true. Even though he didn't win his 12th world title, he got to surf against the guy who's now carrying that title as being the best ever out here.
Paddling into a beast, leg drop, pulling in, square barrel spin, and Kelly Slater's out.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the 7-time Pipe Master champion, courtesy of Billabong and Memorial of Andy Irons, Mr. Kelly Slater.
You know, I used all my magic today. I used everything I had, and it worked out for me.
It's kind of a letdown in the end, but I'm still super stoked, and just to be able to serve a final against Kelly Slater in the Pipe Masters.
It was spectacular, you know, to have all these people, all these fans, all this, you know, all this build up on a weekend with the best waves we've had all year, and perfect pipeline and south winds. I mean, you literally couldn't write a better script. This was a great day.